So I recently pulled the plug, went out, and got myself a PlayStation 5 Pro, and I wanted to talk about some of the things that I'm experiencing really quickly by upgrading to the PlayStation 5 Pro from the base PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. So right off the bat, I was just really impressed with how small the system was. I didn't think it would be as small as it was, being the Pro model. And something else that may just be something that I'm experiencing, I don't know if this is true or not, I can't see it being true, but the DualSense controller feels like it's been upgraded somehow. I mean, I'm feeling much more in terms of the vibration, the haptics are stronger, just in general, compared to what I was feeling playing games like this on the base PlayStation 5 with the same DualSense controller. Again, could just be something that I'm feeling because it's the new factor. I don't know what it is, but definitely experiencing a connection with the DualSense and the haptics in a much greater way than I did playing games like this on the base PlayStation 5. So this is Star Wars Outlaws. I decided to try this out first because it was sort of the poster child for PSSR, the upscaling magic that Sony created. I'm not really a technical person or technical channel, so I do know that this is the second iteration. They released a patch that cleared up some things, and PSSR was making things look much better. But I can tell you, I've played this game. I've completed this game on the Xbox Series X, and I began playing it again on the PlayStation 5. There is a transformative difference just with this one game. So right off the bat, I was like, this is the best purchase I've made in quite some time. Now, I tried out quite a few other games, really excited about games coming out, taking advantage of the PlayStation 5 Pro. But with this game, I mean, the draw distance, and I'm playing it on quality 60, which is an option given to PlayStation 5 Pro users. You're getting the best graphics and the best fidelity possible, all at the smoothest frame rate possible, taking advantage of the PlayStation 5 Pro, and it is an exquisite experience. I am having an amazing time with it. Now, the reason I ran out and bought a Pro is I have a Series X. I was subscribed to Game Pass for a while, and I can't really sit here and tell people Game Pass isn't a good value. You're getting a bunch of games for $20. But interestingly enough, I got caught up in all of that because you can't really deny that it's a great value. But as somebody who's a console-specific gamer, it's really hard for me to justify continued support of something that just degrades the console space or a console in general like the Xbox Series X. And we know that Game Pass was created to solve a problem that didn't exist. People were buying games on other platforms. They just weren't buying them on the Xbox, first or third party, to a degree great enough for Microsoft to say, hey, we have a successful platform. So they created Game Pass. They literally incentivized people to do the exact same thing that was already degrading the platform and caused the creation of Game Pass, which is don't buy video games, just rent them through us. So when I looked at all that and I thought to myself, I'm not really into anything that tears down the console space or degrades a console, and I want the best possible experience I can get on a console. I'm not a PC gamer. I'm not going to buy a PC. I'm never going to buy a PC, and I'm never going to play games on a PC. So why not put myself in the best possible position on console? Every single game that comes out, yes, I might not be able to rent them in a subscription service, but what I will be able to do and what I will know is that if I decide to purchase those games, they're going to be the best version that they possibly could be for me on console. Why wouldn't I put myself in that position? And then I thought to myself, I was the one running out to get an Xbox One X when Microsoft announced the mid-gen refresh and the most powerful console on the market, the best place to play third-party and first-party games, best resolutions, best frame rates. So how did I go from that person to a person that would support anything that actually degrades, tears down a console in a generation or the console space? I don't know. It doesn't make sense for me. So I'm not telling anybody out there not to do what they want to do. But for me as a simple console gamer, this is a no-brainer. I'm now in the best possible position I could be in the console space to have the greatest experience with any first or third party game. And then there's the GTA factor. Did you see that trailer? Do you honestly believe that the best place to play Grand Theft Auto will be anywhere but the PlayStation 5 Pro? I mean, it's not even launching on PC at launch. It's only going to be console. So I felt like, the old guy who was a console gamer, well, he's back. And the same way I bought everybody else's mid-generation refresh back in the day, and I had no illusions that buying games and buying a platform that put me in the position to play them the best possible way, well, here I am doing it again. Game Pass is not the solution. It's an additive feature if you want to use it. And yes, it's a great value if you don't know the games that you like, if you don't want to purchase them. But what's also incredibly compelling is I'm now in the best possible position in the console space that I can be in to play the best games from anybody and everybody who makes them in the best possible way with the PlayStation 5 Pro. As soon as Microsoft decided to raise the prices of existing hardware that no one's buying 5 years into a generation, I said to myself, this is a clear signal that they don't care about the hardware. In fact, they're incentivizing, they're driving people away from the console. I even saw people say, isn't this great now that prices are going up, especially for games, because people are going to say, hey, $80 for Xbox games, I might as well just join Game Pass. Even though I didn't join Game Pass before, even though I didn't purchase an Xbox Series X or S before when they were cheaper, but now that they're even more expensive, I think I'm going to pay between $400 and $720 for the hardware and then $240 a year for Game Pass. That's the logic that's out there by people who are solely dedicated to Xbox and Microsoft. Xbox without it being a box. These are fans of the original Xbox. Think about this. The original Xbox sold as the most powerful place to play that current generation's games, the most powerful box. And here we are years later where the box doesn't even mean box anymore. Powered obviously doesn't matter. It's all about a cheap entry point to perpetually pay Microsoft for the privilege of renting games. And here's the kicker. In order to access that privilege on console, you have to first give them between $400 and $720. Imagine if somebody said to you, in order to access Netflix, you first have to give us $700. Then you can perpetually pay for the privilege of watching things on Netflix. Nobody would do that, and yet here we are trying to justify price increases in a console market. Me, I'm a simple console gamer. I've always been a console gamer, going way back to the Atari, even before that, and all the way up through the crash of the industry, and then the NES coming in and resurrecting the console industry. And here we are today. I ran out and I bought an original Xbox because it was a powerful system, and the games that I had played on the PlayStation 2 looked a lot better. So I can't see how changing that today because of a subscription service makes any sense. I can't see how supporting something that continually drags down the hardware. I can't see how supporting something like a price increase on hardware no one wanted. Remember, Microsoft has enough money to spend Sony out of existence when it comes to buying up publishers and games. How come that same company can't weather the storm of a price increase and maybe buy back some goodwill going into whatever the next generation is for Xbox? How come that couldn't be a reality? How come the reality of spending Sony out of existence with a $3 trillion market cap was something these same gamers celebrated? But now it's just, well, everyone's raising prices, we understand. Or Nintendo being the driving factor for Microsoft having to increase prices. A $96 billion company dictates what a $3 trillion company does with its hardware? Again, I'm not jumping through hoops anymore to defend stuff because I like it. I certainly don't monetize videos, so I do not need to consistently lie to you to get you to keep coming back. If you're a console gamer, the best place to play console games is the PlayStation 5 Pro. Just like the Xbox One X was. If you ran out and got that, and for some reason you're finding this cognitive dissonance when it comes to finding the value in the PlayStation 5 Pro, you're just a hypocrite and you don't care about console gaming. Now, certainly you can do whatever you want. You can enjoy Game Pass. You can still enjoy your Xbox consoles. I'm certainly not saying you can't do that. But what I am saying is I can't find the sanity in continually trying to find reasons to make something good when there's ample evidence that it just is not good. That's going to be it for the video. My PlayStation 5 Pro has got me super excited about every game coming out. Doom is next. Absolutely no. I'm going to like Doom, so why would I rent it? I'll purchase it on a console that gives me the best possible way to play Doom. Very simple. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.